We're here today. Obviously, everyone knows that the FBI has released their statement indicating that they don't plan on filing any charges after investigating Shanquella's case. We're disappointed, but we're not deterred. It's not something that's necessarily unexpected in the sense that black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice, because it shouldn't be that in this country that black women, black and brown victims of crime have to do this every time they are victims of crimes, but it is unfortunately what it is. I don't think there is a lot of bureaucratic tape. I think it's pretty simple that in the United States, that when there are black and brown victims of crimes, there is a whole other set of things that have to be done.
On Wednesday, Shanquella's lawyer Sue Ann Robinson was quick to call out federal authorities for not giving Shanquella's case the attention it deserved, all based on the fact that Shanquella was a black woman. For those still in the dark, Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, who was found unresponsive at a villa in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, where less than 24 hours earlier, she and a group of friends had just landed for what was supposed to be a luxury vacation. Several months after Shanquella's demise and the start of her investigation, federal investigators determined on Wednesday that they don't have enough evidence to prosecute anyone for her end. This comes as a disappointment to the million of viewers who were all waiting for dear Shanquella to get justice. The federal authorities met with Robinson's family to share their findings and tell them there would be no prosecution at this time. And this came as shattering news to her family. Shanquella's family and the rest of the world had hoped to get more positive news in terms of an arrest or something along those lines. But unfortunately, the case is being swept under the rug. Speaking on behalf of Robinson's family at Little Rock Ames Zion Church in Charlotte on Wednesday afternoon, attorney Sue Ann Robinson said they were disappointed but not deterred by the outcome of the U.S. investigation and would continue to seek justice in the wake of the killing.
We're disappointed, but we're not deterred. It's not something that's necessarily unexpected in the sense that black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice.
While speaking at the press conference, attorney Sue Robinson mentioned the fact that, at the back of their minds, they already knew that something like that would most likely happen considering the fact that she was black. She then compared Shanquella's mother to Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, who fought for justice for her son after he was murdered and had to go the extra mile to even beg for her son's justice.
Her attack was captured on video, and now we're being told that there isn't going to be an arrest.
Shanquella's lawyer also touched on the fact that there was visible evidence in Shanquella's case because there was a video that has been floating around for more than 6 months of Shanquella being assaulted by one of the Cabo Six. It makes no sense that the federal claims no foul play on Shanquella's life when both the video and her autopsy prove otherwise.
That while we were watching with our own eyes Derek Chauvin putting his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we were being told that he was having a heart attack.
She also said Shanquella's case reminded her of George Floyd and how the subtle similarity between the two cases proved that when it came to brown and black people, justice was being held back. For Floyd's case, even after the public had seen the video of him being assaulted, authorities still managed to blame the act on a heart attack and drugs, and it's like the same is going to happen to Shanquella. Officials from the U.S. Attorney's offices in 2 districts in North Carolina announced the decision in a statement issued shortly before Shanquella's family members were scheduled to speak about Robinson's killing at a televised news conference. The statement issued by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of North Carolina read, "The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Robinson has been a priority for federal prosecutors and the FBI." They continue claiming that just like every other case under consideration for federal prosecution, the government had to approve beyond reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed, but unfortunately for Shanquella's case, no wrong had been done. Based on the results of the autopsy and after careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. attorneys' offices, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family that the available evidence did not support a federal prosecution. It is important to reassure the public that experienced federal agents and seasoned prosecutors extensively reviewed the available evidence and have concluded that federal charges cannot be pursued, the news release from the U.S. Attorney's Office read. They even cited a detailed and thorough investigation and an autopsy conducted by the Medical Examiner's Office in North Carolina's Mecklenburg County, saying they found that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. This statement is pretty weird considering the fact that there is an autopsy showing that Shanquella had a broken neck, and there is also an entire video supporting her injuries that could be used as evidence. Attorney Sue shared that the decision by U.S. authorities not to press charges partly relied on results of the domestic autopsy, following an initial autopsy conducted in Mexico. The U.S. post-mortem exam was conducted after Robinson's body had been embalmed and transported back to America, which means that there was a delay that ruled Robinson's cause of death undetermined.
Despite there being a video showing a vicious and brutal attack of your child while she's naked and obviously not fighting back, that there is nothing that can be done.
Shanquella's lawyer congratulated her family for being strong and fighting for her justice despite all the hardships they were going through, and she promised them whatever happened, they were all still going after Shanquella's justice. She said, "There's no reason why a black woman should go on vacation with her friends, be returned to her family in a box, and nothing be done for 5 months." The entire time she was speaking, she accused the FBI of being slow in interviewing the people who went on the trip with Shanquella and also for delaying the entire process that could have brought justice to the young woman months earlier.
But we're not deterred. We're still going to be marching. We're still going to rally in D.C. on May 19th.
She claimed that as much as everyone was bummed by the recent turn of events, nothing was going to stop them from continuing with their search for justice. She said the entire family and other supporters were still going to rally starting May 19th until justice was served. She claimed the U.S. authorities have to understand and have to know that the case was not just about Shanquella, but that United States citizens cannot go to Mexico, commit a crime that everyone saw on a video, and then go back to America and say they were safe or that they are not going to be charged with a crime. Sue Ann Robinson said, "That cannot be the message that the U.S. authorities want to send."
The FBI be permitted to sit on their hands, that they be permitted to say, "We're working," because justice delayed can be justice denied.
Attorney Robinson claimed that the entire situation occurred because the U.S. authorities delayed their investigation, and if they had quickly followed up on the case the moment it came to light, justice could have already been served. She has said that it's quite okay even if the federal would refer the family to Mexico, they are going to continue their search for justice. The Mexicans seem to have been active and involved in the case more than the U.S. since Mexican investigators did file an arrest warrant that has not yet yielded an actual arrest. It's still unclear at this time how U.S. prosecutors' decision to not press charges will affect the arrest warrant from Mexican authorities. The FBI were actually late into the case because, according to a statement to CBS News, they opened a probe into the circumstances surrounding Robinson's death in November, about 3 weeks after it happened. By then, the Cabo Six had already fled to the U.S. and were already hiding in their homes after lying to Shanquella's family. Unlike the FBI, the Mexican authorities had started an investigation earlier, and by then, news of her killing had garnered considerable public and global attention. Owing to the viral cell phone video that showed Robinson being violently assaulted, apparently at the luxury villa where she was staying while on vacation. The Mexican authorities had even requested one of the Cabo Six to be extradited to Mexico to face her crimes, but none of that has been honored by the U.S. government. It is unclear what impact the Department of Justice's announcement could have on extradition matters, but with them casually washing their hands off the case, they might never extradite anyone. "We hope that there is still a chance at justice in Mexico," Crump and Robinson said in a joint statement. Mexican prosecutors have issued arrest warrants in this case and are willing to pursue charges. "We strongly encourage the United States to move forward with the extradition of those responsible for her death to Mexico to face accountability there. If no extradition or diplomatic intervention takes place, activists as well as Shanquella's family have planned a May the 19th of March to the U.S. Department of State in Washington." Attorney Robinson and Crump had previously sent a letter to the White House in March calling for intervention in the case and naming Jackson as a suspect, but seems like their hard work went in vain. At the press event in March, they had said they planned to meet with political leaders after April 1st, but according to attorney Sue Robinson, this meeting has not yet happened and they are being shuffled around to other offices without getting any help. The outcome of the FBI's investigation was not unexpected to Sue Robinson, and she said the family and their legal team will continue to seek justice and call for diplomatic intervention. A fan on Twitter said, "I am them right now, mostly because justice for black women is a rarity. Another name on an endless list of black women that deserve better from this world. Shanquella, I won't forget to let the world know your life mattered." Another said, "Those animals really beat Shanquella Robinson to death in Fort Calvin and no charges." As Malcolm X once said, "The most disrespected person in America is the black woman." My God. Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Bye.